What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe's Story. I'm Captain Great Value, and I'm going to tell stories that I've heard from friends or read on the internet. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. How's it going, everybody? Hope you all are having a great day. Today, we're going to be talking about people stealing from stores and people's reaction to catching them stealing and what they thought about that. If you enjoy this content, be sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll be showing more about this as thievery is everywhere. Hope you all enjoy. Today's first story comes to us from Rachel Smitherman on Quora.com. I titled it The Walmart Shoplifters. She wrote, "As a cashier and customer service rep, I have seen tons of people stealing or trying to. It's a serious matter, but some people, well, how can you not laugh a bit when they pull some of these stunts? And yes, I witnessed each one and they are all true. A 500 plus pound woman wearing a moo dress literally waddles by my desk. I think nothing of it until undercover loss prevention is seen following her. I take the opportunity to watch as I return cigarettes to their display. The lady gets between the double doors and a whole turkey falls between her legs. She kicks it under a passing cart and tries to claim it fell from the cart. No. This one made it on the episode of World's Dumbest Criminals." A pregnant lady enters the store. She heads for the meat department. I'm on break. I see her shoving a whole roast under her shirt. I alert loss prevention. Pregnant lady is detained. Lady is not pregnant. She has a hollow styrofoam belly she has filled with $300 worth of steaks, ribs, and roast. I scored a $50 gift card for catching her. That's pretty good. Next story she writes is, lady comes through my checkout line. She has a bit of everything. I scan her bed in a bag and it rings up as an LP case of 50 cents. I investigate. I tell her someone stuck the wrong sticker on it and the correct price was $89. I asked her if she still wanted it. Her face was red, but she said she did. She nearly freaked out when I unzipped it and started running my hands through it. My. I pull out an electronic organizer, a CD that shouldn't be there, and just ring them up as she sputters. LP case, 50 cents. LP case, 50 cents. I pull up the barcodes and scan them again. $159.99 and $19.99. She says she has to go. Wow. And the next story, a guy approached my line eating a container of popcorn chicken, finishes and sits it on top of the drink cooler. I scan his items and ask him to hand me his popcorn chicken container so I can scan it for him and throw it away. He pretends to have no clue what I'm talking about. I have to remind him he is on camera to get him to pay. Before anyone gets on their high horse, he had a wad of cash bigger than my head. He had money for food, he just didn't want to pay. Next story. I'm walking to the break room when I catch some guys doing something with a trash can, tin foil, and a ton of ink cartridges. Not going into it, but they were trying to steal over $600 in ink cartridges. They are why they are now under lock and key. Thanks. Guys, no really, I got another $50 gift card. I have tons more. Life at Walmart was never boring. All I can say about that is definitely Walmart is one of the more attractive retail stores where people they try their best to steal things from there. I mean, of course, it's such a huge store and they don't think that there's cameras everywhere and they don't think that loss prevention will see them, but of course they're usually wrong and they usually get caught. All I have to say about that is, if you're going to steal from Walmart, just be prepared for the consequences. They are ready for it as they've probably gone through years of theft. On to the next story. This next story comes to us from Ingrid Berling on Quora.com. I titled it The Kleptomaniac with a Conscience. This person wrote, he was trying to steal a coat from a rack outside the store where I worked. I went out and confronted him. He was enormous and I was scared. I had heard that thieves will hit you to shock you and then run away, leaving you temporarily unable to chase. I asked him what he had in his bag. There was something odd about him. He actually let me see. It was then that I thought he had a mental illness, as no thief would normally show you what they have stolen. I said I was going to have to ask him to come inside. Then he started tugging away, and as he was so strong, I could feel myself losing my grip on his arm. Someone then came forward to help me, and we got him inside. There was a terrible scene where he begged me to let him go and started crying. I knew something was wrong, very, very wrong. By then, the manager had arrived. I was glad this scene was not playing outside. I felt for the man more than for me. We gave him tea and called the police. Everyone thought he needed help rather than punishment. I was terribly upset, wondering if I had done the right thing. My boss was wonderfully supportive and sent me home early. The next day, a policewoman arrived and told me that the man had kleptomania and one of the worst cases they'd ever encountered. When they got to his house, they found that the entire cellar was full of things he had stolen over many years, including things he could not and would never use: women's clothes, cosmetics, toys. There were even a few more things from our store which they brought back. They said he was clearly ill. They told me he would get help and probably not go to prison at all. I hope this happened for him. He looked like a nice man and not a bad person at all. Well, that just goes to tell you that some people, they do have a disease. Kleptomania is a disease, In my opinion, some people can't help themselves. If the opportunity arises, they just feel the need to basically steal. And I really don't know if there's programs in every state. I do know that sometimes, because of the capacity in the jail and prisons, they'll try to appoint somebody who can talk them into not doing it, but how well that works, I don't know. All right, on to the next story. This next story comes to us from Radha Krishnan on Quora.com. I titled it "Forced to Steal from Subway, the Sandwich Shop." He wrote, "I wonder if a young sandwich artist at a Subway near Orlando will write and mention me as the thief. He could, because that's what he saw. We were driving back from Orlando after visiting the theme parks late evening, looking for some dinner, and that Subway was conveniently placed for us. We go in, order our subs, and I also pay for 4 packs of chips, one for each of us. Then I tell the teller that we'd pick up the chips after we ate our subs, on our way out. Because we'd need the chips in the car during the drive home, she nodded and took the payment for the subs and the chips. By the time we were done eating, there's a change of shift. The girl says bye and goes out, and a young man, barely out of his teens, comes in and replaces her. This is not a busy time, so there's nobody else. Coincidentally, the new guy enters, and when I'm picking up the packs of chips I had paid for, he sees me at the counter, helping myself to a handful of chips packs, with nobody else around, and pauses and stares at my face. Then at the goodies in my hands, and then winks at me with a sly smile and a quick thumbs up. He thought I was shoplifting and was encouraging me. To make it worse, I flushed because I could see the impression I gave and I wanted to explain. But he cuts me off, looks pointed at my wife and 2 young daughters, and says, "Hey man, say nothing, times must be tough. I didn't see anything, I'm going in the back, and won't come out till you are gone. Good luck." Admittedly, all of us were looking worse for the wear for having spent the entire hot day at a crowded theme park, so maybe he thought we were down on our luck, or maybe he had a natural affinity for thieves. Whatever the reason, I never got a chance to clarify it with him, and he probably thinks that a good anecdote to retell about this Indian family who had expensive theme park souvenirs on them had to steal to stave off hunger. Well, honestly, I honestly think that he wasn't forced to steal. I didn't read that he actually paid for them, which is fine. It still makes it look like he was forced to steal, even if he hadn't, because that guy made a big scene about it. And that is a very bad thing. I would have gotten embarrassed myself, but of course I don't stay quiet about that kind of thing. I correct on the spot, and I would have said, hey, I appreciate you looking out for people, but I paid for this and I have the receipt if you want to see it. I would have just said that. But I think this guy walked away and just said, hey, you know what? I paid for him. Why do I have to say anything? You know, the receipt's there in my pocket in case something happens, obviously. Well, okay, that was pretty good. Thank you for that. And let's go on to the next story. This next story comes to us from Andrew Reeves on Quora.com. I titled it The Beer Thief. He said, years ago, I ran a Texaco station in Alabama. One Saturday morning, a suspicious looking guy kept hovering around the beer cooler. Mark, my cashier, already saw or felt the guy was a thief and about to run. Sure enough, he grabbed a 12-pack of Bud and sprinted for the door. Andy, watch this. He says, Mark hit the robbery switch under the counter, which instantly locks all doors, and notified the police. I'm assuming it was a magnetic lock or some kind, because you can't just lock it with that. I'm pretty sure it's magnetic. And the poor guy hit the door full speed and knocked himself out cold. Beer went flying all over the floor. Mark had his pistol handy because the guy was locked inside with us. Didn't matter. The police showed up in about 30 seconds and arrested our beer thief after the ambulance had already checked him out. That was over 20 years ago, and I'm still laughing. Well, you know what? I think this whole entire country is just full of what people call beer runs. I've heard that all since I was growing up. You know, it's just people have a problem and they don't have enough money to afford their alcohol. You know, so basically, that's how they take care of it. They go and they steal. I'd like to go ahead and put a video for you guys. People also getting caught stealing, and hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go ahead and narrate this video. There was a lot of explicit language used in this video, but you can see here this woman is chasing down this guy, and at first you may think this is some sort of a prank that these people made up, but the way the guy is, and the seriousness of it, like he so basically he stuffed a whole lot of food from the Family Dollar in his shirt and tried to run out with it, but being that he respected her, he didn't run her over. He let her check him. He even says, check me. So she's over here taking off all kinds of bags of chips from him, and he's just like, I don't know how that got there. And she's just like taking off everything. You could tell from his face that he's not very happy that she's doing it, but he's not getting in a fighting mood. And then she says, you can get on and get out of here. He just runs out there, and the next lady just starts laughing and falling down at the same time. So but that was my video for you guys. It's a little hard to find videos that are already copyrighted these days, so I did find that one on the interwebs, just floating around, and I decided to use it. I would have used, I wish I could really let you guys hear the content. I'm sure if you guys are really looking into it, you guys will hear the content. It's hilarious, but I can't put it on the show because this show is intended for kids as well, and I don't want them to hear all the curse words that were used. But yeah, you guys are smart enough, you all will find it, and it is pretty hilarious, all the stuff that's said. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you let me know in the comments if you want any more of this type of content, as it is kind of funny. Some of the things that people steal, the guy with the chips, tell him, hey, yeah, go ahead and steal the chips for your family. Then, he's looking the other way. And then the Walmart price tag switcher / hider and a bag of, covers or, comforters, things like that. Beer run guy. I've heard that story so many times. But let me know in the comments what you all think. And, as always, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. And if you really like this content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. See you on the next one.